call for everyone to stand, and we'll salute the flag in the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is right here. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a short invocation.
Shall we pray? Dear God, as we seek to fulfill your will for our lives, let us all join with others to accomplish your greater good for our community. You have commanded us to walk humbly and to act justly. Help us to be kind and considerate of others, always placing the needs of others first. We ask a special blessing on these students, parents, teachers, and kindness heroes this night. Amen.
We'll now adjourn the City Council meeting, and we'll have a beginnings of the Kindness Hero essays. And Jim Brugance will be our first speaker.
Hello, I'm Jim Brugance, and been active for a number of years, since 1995, with the Seeds of Kindness Committee in Angels Camp, and I'm very proud to be here tonight to represent our committee and our efforts this year. Kathy asked me to ask if there are any kindness heroes or students that are not seated right in this general area, that we need to find them and get them here. So if you're a kindness hero or a student writer, you need to be up here with the rest of the group, please. So anyhow, I'm very excited to be here tonight, and our group got together in December, and we decided that it might be fun to bring the ribbons back to Angels Camp. So if you've been out today, you might have seen one of the 5,000 ribbons that are circulating around the county, around the city, shall we say, thanks to the students, the teachers, the parents, and the administrators at Mark Twain School District and Bret Harte High School Union District. Also, we've had a lot of great volunteers in the community that work in the school, or our parents and just friends that have come forward and helped us to get all these ribbons out into the community. So the ribbons now have an opportunity to be passed on and be harbingers of kindness, reminding people to do kind acts for one another and to choose kindness and just to be kind. So I'd like to thank all of those kind people that helped make this possible this year with the ribbon, and we will be certainly back next year. I'd like to thank Kathy and her group at the school for continuing the Kindness Hero essay tradition. And I'd like to also thank the City Council, Tim and all the councilmen, and that helped make this possible and allow the Kindness Heroes to come here and share their message. And it always is emotional and wonderful to hear what these students have written about just normal everyday people in their lives. So with that, I'll turn it over to Kathy, and thank you very much.
Thank you. We are going to start by asking, I'm going to ask you one row at a time to just come on up. So if I can have that last row, Brandon, you're going to lead the way. Come on up with your heroes. The students at Mark Twain and Copperopolis Elementary write about their kindness hero. 3 entries are submitted from each classroom, and then the kindness committee selects usually around 15 or so essays that they just enjoyed the most, essays that really tell a story. So we're going to start, and we're going to ask Mr. Keller, come on over, and Mrs. Northington. Carl is the principal at Mark Twain, and Kathy is the superintendent for Mark Twain Elementary School District. And Carl is the expert at microphones, so he's going to man the microphone.
I can do that.
All right. So, Brandon, let's see. We're going to start with Brandon Durkee and Nancy Pernat. Nancy Pernat, come on up. They've all promised they'll read slowly and loudly, right? So we can all hear? Good job.
My grandma is Nancy Panette, and she's my hero. She's really nice, intelligent, fun, caring, and most of all loving. She takes care of me after school. I think she's awesome because she'll make my favorite cookies and food to eat. The reason my grandma is my hero is because she saved my life when I was little. My mom gave me a chunk of an apple. When I saw my mom, I ran from her. As I ran from my mom, I inhaled and began to choke on the apple. My mom tried to get the apple out by turning me and hitting me on the back in an upward motion. That did not work. My mom was panicking and yelling for my grandma. My grandma called 911 and put my mom on the phone with the operator. Grandma choked me and did the Heimlich maneuver 2 or 3 times and got the apple out of my throat. My grandma and my mom said my cry was the best sound they have heard. The sheriff came and made sure I was okay. He talked to the ambulance driver and told them that my father was good and I was breathing good. Then the sheriff made sure my mom was okay because she was 6 months pregnant with my sister. That's why my grandma is my hero. Just a special note to my grandma. I love you and thank you. Love, Brandon.
We're passing out bumper stickers. They say, be a kindness hero every day, and a reminder from students of Calaveras County. All right, next we have Harmon Shergill and Officer Portinga. I need to correct that though. I've heard he's not officer and I don't know the difference. I guess he's the boss, so he's Sergeant Portinga.
My hero is Officer Portinga. He keeps our city safe and crime-free. He tells me to be nice, to safe, and be nice to others. When people need help, he is always there.
He is there.
He is there to help. He tells me to do my best in school and give it my all. I thank him for giving me right to school. When I needed one, I like when he handcuffs me.
We're hoping he never gets handcuffed for real. All right. Claudia Loomis wrote about Judy Robertson.
My kindness hero is my Awana leader, Miss Judy. She helps me learn Bible verses. She helps me and other children learn. She loves to teach us about animals. She is my favorite Awana teacher. She will bake treats sometimes for our whole class. She said to us, everyone be honest, faithful, and kind to other people. I will say that to my children. She loves to write and read. I want to be like Miss Judy when I grow up. She is the best.
I just want to check because we don't have Joey. Is Joey Calhoun here? Okay, and we don't have Sammy. Is Sammy here? All right, and we're going to move on to Alexandra. Alexandra wrote about her brother Isaac. This is Alexandra and Isaac Jarman. Alexandra is in kindergarten in Mrs. Arola's class, so Mrs. Arola is going to stand by for moral support.
My kindness hero by Alexandra Jarman. My kindness hero is my brother Isaac. He is 8 years old. He is really good to me. He helps me a lot when we clean up our room. He helps take care of my liver when I am hurt. He looks after from me the time. He reads books to me all the time. He lets me sit on his lap when we are watching TV. Like that. Isaac is a kind friend to everybody. I see his kindness. It teaches me to be kind.
I got the privilege of watching the parents watch their daughter and their son. Okay, this is Alyssa Schaefer and her mother, Carrie.
My mom is my kindness hero because she helps others when they're in trouble. For example, when she saw a person at her college that their car broke down, she gave them a ride to the college. She helps friends, like if one of her friends is going to move out of a house and they had no help, she would help them move stuff out. She tells us that when we walk, we should pick up garbage off the ground and throw it away when we see a garbage can. She also helped not pollute the air when she barely ever drove her car last summer by only driving to pick us up from extended day and to work and sometimes to the store. She helps our family by cooking dinner and helping us when we're in a pickle. This is why my mom is my kindness hero.
We always look forward to some 8th grader writing about a wonderful friend, and we got another one this year. So we're going to invite Amanda Sheehan, who wrote about Veronica Campus.
Have you ever had a friend who you feel you can fully trust? A friend that is always on your side and willing to help you? A friend of mine fits both of these qualities. Because of her caring personality, her habit of never fighting, and her practice of never complaining, Veronica Campus is my kindness hero. First of all, Veronica always seems to know different ways to cheer you up when you're sad. She's always there to talk, cry, and laugh with. For example, when I had a really sad time in my life, she came to my house and basically listened to me complain for an hour. She didn't mind though. Veronica just sat there and nodded in agreement at my frustrations. She tried to understand how I felt so she could help, and that was all I needed. She helps me get through all of my problems with her advice and humor. Do you know how sometimes you and a friend might get in a fight? That doesn't happen between Veronica and me. That doesn't happen between Veronica and anybody. She never seems to get frustrated when I fool around with her. She can also joke around with anybody and never hurt them. She knows how to stop a fight before it starts, a quality I deeply admire. Lastly, Veronica not only can prevent a fight, but she can always mend a broken friendship. In 5th grade, a good friend and I got into a small fight, but Veronica brought us back together and fixed everything. The last reason Veronica is my kindness hero is to practice and never complaining. The worst thing in the world could happen to this girl. She would continue throughout life with her head held high. I remember one time when Veronica got principal's honor roll, but they announced her as regular honor roll student. Did she complain? Of course not. She just smiled as she walked down the stairs, glad to get any kind of honor roll doll, even if it wasn't the right one. Another example of her optimism happened one time when we were playing softball together. Veronica went to catch the ball, but instead of catching it in her glove, it hit her hand. She was bleeding and had a huge bruise, but Veronica still wanted to play in our upcoming game and help our team win. Veronica Campus deserves the title of a kindness hero because of her selflessness, her dreams of happiness and peace, and her ability to overlook complications and to forgive and forget about them.
All right, and now we have Cole Zane and Mark Zane.
Grandpa Mark helps people fix their cars and trucks for free. One time in Oregon, it was winter time. My grandpa and papa heard yelling. They looked for the call for help. Saw a man drowning in the sea. Grandpa dove in the sea and saved him.
Okay, now we have Daniel Scherer reading about Steve Klan.
Uncle Steve is the kind of person you would want to be your friend. He's not our real uncle, we just call him that. His real name is Steve Klan. He's always there for people when they need help. Any time someone is going through a hard time, he gives a helping hand. He helps people pay their bills when they don't have any money. He counsels people when they are sad and encourages them to keep trying. Helps start Harmony Lifehouse in Murphy's. Best part about our Uncle Steve takes us out for pizza, plays video games with us. Since my parents are health conscious, I've never had a Twinkie or a Ho-Ho in my life until Uncle Steve gave them to us. Never been the same since that time. So here's to pizza, Ho-Hos, for Uncle Steve.
Next we have Kaylee McDaniel, an 8th grader, reading about Brian Barnett.
Many of the Mark Twain students don't notice all the things the teachers do for us, but I notice. I chose Mr. Barnett because because he has many different things about him that make him a kindness hero. He helps kids with homework when needed, he coaches 8th grade boys basketball, and he helps us set goals for ourselves. Mr. Barnett is my kindness hero. Mr. Barnett comes to the school early in the morning and gives students a chance to come in for help if they need it. He is also there after school doing chores like grading papers and going over what we will do the next day. But he will put all that aside if you come in and ask questions. Mr. Barnett also has the homework club at lunch for the kids who need to do their homework. He helps them to get it done so they understand it better and will do it more. They can ask questions about the things that they don't understand. Mr. Barnett is also the 8th grade boys basketball coach. After school, he teaches the boys on the team new skills, and they practice for the games. He checks with the boys as teachers to see if they are keeping up with their work and behaving in class. Mr. Barnett does this by choice. He doesn't have to. During the games, he pushes the boys to do their best and work hard, like he does during school. Mr. Barnett also helps us set goals. If we're having a hard time, then he will help us set a goal to get certain things done or help come up with a plan to finish things on time. When Mr. Barnett does this, it gives the kids confidence and motivation to keep going and trying in all the things we do. Not only in school does this skill help, but the skill helps outside of school in the real world. Setting goals is a big part of success, and without the help of Mr. Barnett teaching us that, some of us wouldn't know. Of the many different people I could have picked for my kindness hero, I chose Mr. Barnett. He's my kindness hero because he helps with the school a lot. He helps all the kids with homework when they ask. He's coaching 8th grade boys basketball, and he helps us set our goals. Many people could have chosen Mr. Barnett as their kindness hero. For many of the reasons there are, I did.
If you've been around Angels Camp a long time, you remember when Mr. Barnett used to be a Mark Twain Badger. All right. And now we have Johnny McMahon and his father, Mick McMahon.
My dad is a pastor and he cares about people. He shows that by listening to people, love them, and by being helpful and kind. My dad also teaches people from the Bible, even for my world that is busy helping others. Still finds time to be with me. He plays games with me, and we play sports, and walk our dogs. Be a great daddy. I want to be like my hero by being kind and helpful to others, but especially be nice to my family.
And now I'd like you to meet Jack Worthley and David Webster.
My kindness hero is David. David, my kindness hero, has been my friend since kindergarten. He has a good sense of humor. David also shows courtesy. He shows friendship. He is not an argumentative person. David can make anything into a joke. He can ignore anything. David never complains and he looks for the bright side. He's also a funny guy. David distributes courtesy. He will never insult you. David will always respect your possessions and your opinions. David shows friendship in several ways. First, he never lies, steals, or cusses. David respects people and is very considerate to others. He is a very responsible person. David and I have been friends since kindergarten. We've been on swim team, soccer team, Boy Scouts together since we were little kids. I've always been able to count on him. I chose him because we were good friends. David is a $1 billion friend.
does make you think about your friends, doesn't it? And how much we really treasure friendship. Our last kindness hero essay writer is Raymond Ricafort, and he wrote about foster family services, so he'll have to introduce who he brought along.
My hero is foster family services. When I was 5 years old, I was taken away from my parents. I was with my sister and mom watching TV and eating pizza. All of a sudden, the door bursted open and the police took my sister and I away to a foster house. Later, we moved to another foster house. My foster house had lots of books and toys. I stayed there for about a year. After we did homework, we could play. Every Sunday, we would go to church. At church, they had Sunday school. We went on about Jesus. After that year, we went to the Hankins house. There I met Sandy, Daryl, Chris, Alan, Savannah, DJ, Norman, and John. They had so many games like a GameCube, Xbox, a regular Xbox, computer, a Wii, and 4 TVs. After the summer, we went to Mark Twain Elementary School. My real parents couldn't take care of me. The Hankins were going to adopt my sister and me. It was hard at first, but now I really know that they love me. Thank you for listening to my hero story. And that's my dad.
That one doesn't bring a tear to your eye. I don't know what would. There are heroes in our lives. They live around us. They work around us. They're everywhere. And I hope that each of us is working to become a high kindness hero to others. City council members, we left up on your tables a bumper sticker for your cars and a kindness ribbon. And all of you received a kindness ribbon when you came in. The whole idea is that you sign your name on it, you wear it, you look for someone being kind, and you pass it on. And ask them to sign their name, wear it, and look for someone being kind. You can sign names all the way down the whole back of the ribbon. You can add extra paper to the back of the ribbon and sign names. And I do want to let you know the gold sort of magically disappears. It doesn't matter. It's still a blue ribbon, and it still signifies kindness. And so we'd like you to join us for this next year, from now until next year at the same time, to practice random acts of kindness. Just buy somebody's gasoline, buy their coffee, do all those little things that make a difference in somebody's life. And I want to thank you also for allowing us to do this as a part of Angels Camp City Council, because Angels Camp is a kindness zone, and we work very hard at making it that. Thank you. We'd like to invite everybody out to the hallway this year for cake and punch, and the kindness hero and your essay writer. There is a place for you to get your picture taken, and we'll get pictures back to you. So if you make sure and get your picture taken before we're finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you.